barely see anyone cooking with this spice in the US, but growing up in Calcutta, it was a staple in my grandmother's kitchen. So today I'm going to share a quick and delicious cauliflower side dish featuring this spice. And the best part, it's ready in just 20 minutes. Let's get cooking. Let's start by chopping our cauliflower into bite-sized pieces. This spice is called nigella seed and it's also known as black cumin. It looks very similar to black sesame seeds, so if you see it in the grocery store, it can be confusing. But it has this delicious, subtle onion flavor and it's got a slight bitterness to it and works so well in vegetable side dishes as well as in fried goods, baked goods, and a lot of sweet dishes like chutneys as well. Don't want any huge pieces of cauliflower. We're looking to get all the pieces of the cauliflower a similar size so that they all cook at the same time. Let's start cooking. I'm using some neutral oil here. Cover the base of the pan, and we have a very few ingredients that goes into this dish. Okay, the oil is heated now. Let's add our red chili. I'm gonna break it into half for some extra spice. If you don't like spice, then you can skip this. All right, I can smell the fragrance. Let's add in our main ingredient, nigella seeds. Nigella seeds are sizzling now. Let's add in the cauliflower. I'm only adding in half because this is a lot of cauliflower. And then we're going to saute this cauliflower on medium-high heat for a few seconds till it starts softening. I just love the speckle of these black nigella seeds against the white of the cauliflower. It almost looks like polka dots. It's really cute. We are eating this side dish with steak tonight, but you could eat this with chicken or seafood. It'll go really well. This cauliflower side dish with roast chicken is just delicious. And this method works really well for any kind of root vegetables or potatoes. Like this would be a great dish to make with carrots. And I can also see this work really, really well with any kind of potatoes as well as sweet potatoes. We've even made this dish with broccoli and it works surprisingly well. Cauliflower slightly charred now, and remember, throughout the rest of the cooking process, it is going to develop more of that char, and that is important because there are very few ingredients in this dish, so we want to get that smoky flavor. So let's add in some turmeric. And I'm also going to add some salt. Mix this really well. Make sure that each piece of cauliflower is coated in the beautiful golden color of the turmeric. Turmeric lends like a nice earthy flavor that goes really well with cauliflower as well as with any other root vegetable. The pieces of cauliflower are nicely coated. Let's reduce the temperature to low and we're going to cover it. Let's look at what's happening in the pan. So you can see how the cauliflower is getting more of a char. Sometimes what I do to help it cook faster as well as prevent it from getting too charred is take just a little bit of water. I mean, it's literally a few drops and just sprinkle it over just like this and then cover it back up. This allows more steam to form and helps the cauliflower cook faster. We don't want to add too much water because we want it to get that char, but this little sprinkle goes a long way. Let's check if the cauliflower is cooked. I have this cake tester here. You can use a fork and I'm just going to insert it into the stem, and if it goes in easily, it means that it's cooked. So it looks like my cauliflower is cooked now. We want these vegetables to have some crunch. I don't want it to become a complete mush. So I'm going to try one to make sure that it's seasoned right and then add more salt if needed. Bit more salt. cauliflower is cooked and it's time to serve. Now, if you were eating this with roti, which is an everyday flatbread made of whole wheat flour and which is typically how I would eat it at home, then I would cook these vegetables maybe a few more minutes longer so that it's easy to mush them with the roti. But for the purposes of a side dish with something like roast chicken or steak, this cauliflower is perfectly cooked. All right, the cauliflower is ready. Let's give it a taste and see what Ross thinks.
All right, let's give it a taste. I'll go first.
Yeah, be honest.
Very nice. This is delicious. I really like this cauliflower. It's cooked perfectly, has that little bit of crunch, not too much crunch and not too mushy. And this is an easy way to really give cauliflower some character and a really nice taste. Good job.
Oh, thank you, Ross. Yeah. I think if I fed this to my family, they would say it's undercooked. But this is perfect for a side dish. Again, like I mentioned earlier, cook it a little bit more if you're going to eat it with roti. Now, this is aggressively seasoned, and I think that the cauliflower needs it, especially when there aren't a lot of other flavors that go into it. I can certainly taste the subtle onion flavor of the nigella seeds when I bite into it. And I can also taste a little bit of that earthiness of the turmeric. It's delicious. You must give it a try. And let me know in the comments what vegetable you choose to make this recipe with.
Yeah, that slight onion flavor, it really reminds me of everything bagel seasoning, just a little bit, in a good way, of course.
If you love this recipe, you're going to love my simple ground beef recipe that's perfect for midweek dinner. I'll link it for you here. Let's take a look at... All right, it's time to taste. Ross, come on in. Come on in. All right, it's time to taste. Ross, come on in. What is come on in? Watch it. Please watch it. You better watch it.
Got it.